Hello to all my fellow fans out there. You know the drill by now. If you haven't already, now is the time to pause this video and read through the channel's disclaimer in full before viewing any of my work. Thank you kindly. Welcome to a meeting of Monstrous Minds with your host this evening, Jet Hipwell. Enjoy. Welcome to all my fellow dark horror-loving friends, fans, followers, and family of freaks out there. As you all know, I love you all. Good evening, everyone. It's midnight here in the UK, and this is the third Greenroom chat. This is the second part of episode 3 in the series, A Meeting of Monstrous Minds. And I'm your host for this evening, Jet Hipwell. Now, if you haven't done so already, please take a look at the first video of this episode. Head over to the playlist tab where you will then find a full set of channel episode listings. And tonight, for this evening's viewing pleasure, on this ultimately freaky Friday night, I've been interviewing dark musician and paranormal author, Ed Burley. So, in this section of episode 3, you will see that it continues on a more casual chat between myself and this epic creator here, Ed. So, ladies and gents, let us begin with tonight's Creepy Chat entertainment. Ed, welcome to the second part of the show. I am absolutely shattered.
You're not the only one. I spent an hour lone working yesterday.
Oh, bless you.
So, it's alright. We live to tell the tale. Reinforcements finally arrived, so, it's all good.
Would you like to pick what our first subject is to chat about? You can reiterate or go back to anything that was in the interview, or you can pick anything on a more casual or personal basis. It's a fun chat. I have my brew and ready to go.
Well, we could riff on ceremonial magic, if you're interested in that.
Always an interesting subject.
Yeah, well, I've been a practicing ceremonial magician now for about 7 years, and I have gotten more out of it than any physical, mental therapy I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Yep, it's incredible. So I suppose we should put the thing out there. It's misrepresented, particularly in horror. Satanists. No. That's inverted pentagrams. That's putting spirit at the bottom. We're interested putting spirit at the top, where it belongs.
Do you class
And
yourself as a religion with it, or is it just you're a practicing? What do you refer to yourself as?
I'm probably an atheist. It's spiritualism, I suppose, is what you call it.
A lot of people wouldn't put spiritualism in the same thing as ritual magic, though, I don't think, because a lot of spiritualists don't practice the magic side of it.
But then I think the great thing about magic is you can nick anything from everywhere. It's all to do with egregores, and the idea of an egregore is it's an idea that's been fed energy. So it's a pocket of energy. So all you're doing in ceremonial magic is kicking out all the crap out your system and then invoking positive energy. So you can do it with so you can do it with anything. Like you can do it with angelic intelligences, you can do it with demons if you're mad enough to. You can do it with the
I know a few that have tried.
You can do it with well, if you ever heard of a man called Grant Morrison, who's a amazing comic book writer. Hello, Pippin. That's my dog Pippin.
Yeah, Ludo popped up earlier.
Behind me.
Ludo just ran under the covers on the sofa and just disappeared.
Yeah, if you've ever heard of Grant Morrison, legendary comic book writer, he's done it with he did it with superheroes. And he's done it with John Lennon, the Beatles. It's basically anything that you can conjure anything. It's really weird. It's all to do with energy and stuff. But
No, I totally get that because I always say I never know what to label myself as. Most people take the mick and say I'm a witch or I'm a pagan and this, that, and the other,
Mhm.
but I don't directly, like yourself almost, I don't believe in one direct religion. I think paganism or druidry is probably the closest I get,
Fair enough.
or the terminology of hedge witch because I study herbalism and things as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really weird. I don't really know what category I'd even put myself in. I just know that I have a hatred for modern day magics. The whole Wicca thing gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
It's like you've taken a craft and modernized it, and like you can't just substitute here, there, and everywhere because you can't find. I know all these like teenage magic books and stuff that have come out that just say basically you say these four lines and you're done. Do you know what I mean? You curse somebody for life and blah, blah, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, the secret. Well, yeah, let's
Get your
start
think
again.
ahead.
Ceremonial magic is all about basically aligning yourself with your, well, they call it your will. So your will to action. You strip away all the nonsense you don't need and find out what drives you, what motivates you. And then in doing that, once you find that path, if you carry on doing it, again, it strips away all the nonsense of your past life and it focuses you down that path. But I mean, it's done wonders for me. So.
I mean, I've tried many different forms of magics and things, specifically of the healing kind. Obviously, with
Mm.
my health being as bad as it has been, because I've pretty much had health problems since I was a nipper. But
Yeah. That's
I mean, my first dabble at anything that kind of way on, I was like about 12 years old, and me and my high school friend decided to try out voodoo. And it either worked or it was one hell of a coincidence.
mm-hmm.
And I've never played with that again.
No, that's fair enough. No, I usually I stick with angelic intelligences because I've been through a lot of crap in my life, shall we say. I'm still, the way I see it, I'm still trying to cleanse my system of all the trauma and negative experiences I've had. It's all about angelic intelligences for me. Yeah,
Like,
and like I say, I've got more out of it than any pill or any cognitive therapy I've ever had.
are you a solo practitioner or do you like work with a group or anything like that?
No. I am a completely lone worker when it comes to this stuff.
Me too. I've taught quite a few people different aspects of things. Like I've taught tarot to a lot of people. I've been reading the tarot
Hmm.
since I was a young teenager. Um, and yeah, it's really hard to get people to understand. Youngsters, especially like my friend's daughter, is getting into it at the moment, and I'm trying to like pass her on half of my books rather than her getting like all the new modern Wicca stuff and that. And she's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know it was like this," and she's really interested in it at the moment. And she's only 14, bless her. But what do you think it's gonna get like in the future? Because I think it's almost forgotten nowadays.
I think as society gets more and more divided and economic, social, I think you're going to see a resurgence of it. And like the state of the NHS and the healthcare, people are going to be looking for alternatives to kind of like chill themselves out,
Yeah,
almost heal themselves. So I think we're going to see a resurgence of it. But what form? I mean, like you had chaos magic, obviously that came and went because then that was just stripping it down. It's like basically right, draw a sigil and jerk off to it, and then it'll go into your subconscious, and then amazingly magical things will happen. Well,
I don't think
you know,
modern day films or anything like help. They really make stuff come across as
no. Of course they don't. I mean, if
feats of
anything,
magic.
everyone is. If anything, it's all going to be Ouija boards, isn't it?
Yeah,
The amount
definitely.
of like ghosts and that sort of vibe.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we shall see. I'm just sticking to my traditional 1,000-year-old practice. So
Same
works for
here.
me.
I think we should continue that a little bit more, purely because it's a massive subject and we've like
Yeah.
literally barely skimmed the surface of it. But I would like to talk to you more on a ritual magic scale, but I'd also like to know, um, I find problems, like I said, most of my magic based stuff is towards health because of health issues and problems. And I understand that you yourself suffer with bad health issues. Was it long COVID that
Yep.
got you down, I
Yep.
think? Yeah.
Long COVID got me, and it's still got me. I mean, it affects every day of my life. Every day of my life. I mean, I've been trying to describe it to people. I'm like, on a good day, you're weary like you've had a great night out the night before with your mates, you know? So you got some positive energy to you. Yeah, you're weary, but you got some positive energy to you. So you're fine. On a bad day, it's like you've been on a 23-hour flight, so you don't know where you are, what's going on. You got massive brain fog. You know, you
That
walk into
sounds
a
like
room
maybe
and
that's COVID.
yeah, you know, you walk into a room, you ain't got a clue why you're in there. And the only exception to that is the bathroom, obviously, because your body tells you, oh, yeah, I came to the bathroom because I need to use the bathroom. It's just like, you know, but I think, and it's really hard. It's really hard to define again because there's so many levels of it good days, bad days,
That
and
I
everything.
totally understand. I mean, I've got a list of health problems that are a mile long, but throughout day to day, I find things to keep me going since I stopped work at the moment. Obviously, I've been doing the YouTube channel and writing and stuff and doing what bits I can. Um, but yeah, Ludo helps me. The little dog, you saw him hide under the covers a minute ago. But it's hard for me with spine issues, so I struggle like walking in and things. My partner tends to do that more than me. I can only do that on like a really good day with crutches. And even then, he's quite a powerful dog, so he can pull me over very easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But
I got Pippin, my little Cavapoo, and he's been an absolute godsend because obviously, you know, he's not even 2 yet, so he's full of energy, and you have to walk him. You can't get out walking him in the morning,
yeah,
you know. So
that's
rain
it.
or shine, we're out in Weston. We live quite close to the beach, which is beautiful. So we will stroll along the prom, and there's barely anybody around, and then
I think it
obviously
helps with
being out,
routine as well.
yeah,
I think
hundred
routine is
percent,
a lot of it because, like, I've
yeah.
got to get up at a certain time to like let the dog out for a wee and give him his breakfast, and I do that at the same time as taking my tablets and my medication and stuff. So it's like it's all part of getting me going in the morning. I can be extremely slow in the morning because of the muscle spasms and back problems and stuff. So it really can be hard. But when he's sat there looking at me, big eyes like this, been come on, mum, I want my breakfast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I take one look at
Yeah,
him in his eyes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm up, I'm up.
yeah. But then I suppose it's almost like that kind of like you're getting back to nature in a way, and it's like a lot of these, well, even relating to magic, earth grounding. It's a massive thing, and like I love this phrase. I can't remember who said it. It's like we are human beings, not human doings. For some reason we feel guilty when we don't pack our day. We're constantly on the go, but it goes against our very nature. At some point, you have to stop, just for however long you can, depending on what your schedule is. Just
I
stop.
don't know how people do it. My mother is 75 and an absolute machine. She
Yeah,
still does like 3 hobby jobs, and that's doing like gardening and cleaning houses and doing all sorts. She damages herself every other day, and she doesn't feel pain. She just motors on, and it's like, I
yeah.
don't know how you do it. Have you ever
Mind
tried
you,
anything ritual magic wise or anything like that for health? Have you ever
yeah,
tried
yeah,
any like
yeah, yeah. A lot of it. A lot of it I do. The Archangel Raphael is associated with healing, so I invoke him every single day. It's like bright. he supposedly manifests as a bright yellow light. And like I say, I do that daily. And whether it's the power of the mind or what, I don't know. All I know is it works.
Well,
So
that's part of magic, isn't it? It is the power of the mind and the power of belief. If you don't
yeah,
believe, it's not going to work. Any form of self
well,
doubt.
no,
My problem with
yeah,
it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I've tried that many things and dabbled in that many sort of aspects of it. I'm very 50-50. I have a book of shadows and I do write everything down that I do or attempt or try throughout the years.
yeah, yeah.
And some things seem to work and some things don't. But I'm always on the level of, is it coincidence or is it
Hmm.
actually working? Because I sometimes I think I try and try and try and I can believe as much as I want, but sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. True. There are days where whatever's like, well, at the end of the day, you can dress it up as you like. It's trauma, and they said some traumas that will never heal. All you can do is learn to manage and live with them. And I think days like that is your trauma going. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what you do. You're gonna have to ride this roller coaster for as long as it lasts. And then the key is just having faith that you'll get out the other end, as it were. I
I
mean,
also have found that anything that I've done magic wise for other people seems to work better than it does for myself. And yet I don't do
hmm,
anything on a selfish level for myself. I'm not like trying to get monetary gain or, do you know what I mean, do anything like
yeah,
that. It's purely for self healing or self progression. I've tried things to do with like when I've started up businesses in my life and done things like that. And I've used magic or tried magic alongside those things. And I always wonder, I don't know whether really sometimes it's the magic doing it or whether it's just I've managed to do something. Do you know what I mean? I don't,
yeah, 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 yeah. It's weird. I tend to. It's
what's
strange
the
because,
what's the ratio for things working and things not working? Do they, or does it
well,
always work for you or
yeah, it always works. Yeah, it definitely always works. But then it can manifest itself in ways you don't expect. Like, I think a lot of it is presence and peace of mind. Like I can chill anybody out, and I don't know why, because, well, I'm pretty calm most of the time, but there are days where I am wound up so unbelievably tight. It's just fortunately not many people experience that side of me.
yeah, me
But
too. I
yeah, so
tend to keep that side as far away as I can. I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
that's
like
it.
moaning about it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the hidden side. So, but yeah, 9 times out of 10 it works.
It's
And if it
brilliant.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Totally, 100%. I wish I had
Yeah,
the same sort of aspect ratio of things working. I think it had put my mind a bit more at ease about. It's like the unexplained stuff, like ghosts and things like that. Obviously, you see something, you think, or something happens and you can't explain it.
yeah,
And I always think, was that supernatural or was it just, did something happen? I'm always trying to find the other side as well. I'm always trying to prove it. If something works, I always try and disprove it as well to
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
if there's any other reasoning for whatever happening.
Yeah, that's healthy. And I think the other thing with magic is obviously if everybody in the system is like, right, I want to be a fucking billionaire, bang, don't work like that. The less you ask of it, the simpler. Like, just can I wake up today and actually feel normal and function, and be inspired. So I think the littler you ask of it, the more you get from it.
Yeah, definitely. We've chatted a bit about obviously magic stuff and health stuff. What would you like to chat about next?
Why not talk about music? I mean,
Why not?
I yeah, I mean, music. Could argue that before I found magic, music pretty much saved my life. It was, especially at school, going through all that crap. It was an escape. Go home, put a record on, just lose yourself. disappear completely. It's
I
powerful stuff.
I used to use it as an escape. I went
Yeah.
to a fancy school at the beginning, and then a private, like, or public, normal, what class as a normal comprehensive school for my last
Hmm.
year. At the private school, where the education and everything's amazing and blah 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 blah, I was bullied a lot, so music was my shield. It was my go-to. Headphones on, listen, and
Yeah,
hide
yeah.
from the world. Um, but yeah, obviously we like the same sort of genres of music and that sort of thing. I'm pretty eclectic actually, though. I listen to anything that's got a good beat, I suppose. But metal is my main go-to. Um,
Mm.
Obviously, my favourite all-time band is Pantera.
Can't argue with that. Dimebag forever. To be honest.
I've not seen them live. I wasn't privileged enough to see them live as Pantera, but I saw them at Download as Phil Anselmo and the Illegals.
Hmm.
And there was only about 150 people in the crowd because they were on like a small stage.
Yeah,
And it was amazing. They did
yeah.
a mosh pit to walk, and there was a massive gap formed in the middle. At the time,
Yeah.
I had giant green, like dreadlocks, green and black
Uh-huh.
dreadlocks to my waist. And I decided, I looked at this girl next to me. She looked at me. We looked at the gap. Looked at her. Looked at the gap. We ran it. We both instinctively just ran into the middle of this circle gap and started windmilling. And literally at the end of the song, when the circle pit sort of comes to an end and everybody's falling about all over the place, Phil Anselmo points to us and goes, "You are a crazy bitch." That's my claim to fame. He points at me and shouts, "You are a crazy bitch." I'll live with that. That's my claim to fame.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant.
But
Yeah,
yeah, getting older and stuff, I've run nightclubs and things as well, and pubs. So music's always been in my life. Friends that have been in bands, family members that have been in bands and stuff. So always been around it.
yeah. Like I say, it's a powerful thing. I mean, I remember when I was, hang on, let me quickly do the maths. I was 8 years old, 92, Freddie Mercury tribute concert. Watched that at home with my parents. I sat less than a meter from the screen. I was completely mesmerized
Was that
by the
your first concert?
like the entire thing. Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably first experience of that sort of thing. And then Guns N' Roses come on, and then obviously Slash comes on and duels with Brian May, and then Axl does Bohemian Rhapsody. I was like, who are Guns N' Roses? So then that started the entire thing. And then from there, it just grew from there. The Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, everything. But
My
one
dad nearly
event,
had a heart
literally.
attack at like age 12. My room went from being all multicolored with
Mhm.
posters of like generic girly young stuff and like teeny bop bands, as I'd call them, like that are
Yeah.
on the lower end of the scale, stuff like early Green Day and a bit of Nirvana and that sort of thing. And then, um, yeah, my dad came home from work one day and mum had let me paint my bedroom and she said I could paint it whatever colour I wanted and however I wanted to decorate it. Now I was
Mm.
getting older. So I went and got paint and painted my room. Dad came back. It was all jet black. And I mean, the walls, the skirting boards, the ceiling. I'd got glow in the dark stars and stuff on the ceiling,
Nice.
and all the posters and stuff had changed to things like Guns N' Roses and Ugly Kid Joe, and again more rock, a little bit
Mhm.
not quite metal at that stage.
Yeah.
Um, my babysitter got me into Status Quo when I was young as well, and my mum took me with some of her other friends to my
Yeah.
first concert at age 12 in Birmingham, and it was to see Status Quo live.
Nice. One of my favorite gigs. I've been to quite a few gigs. Been privileged enough to. I went to stay in America. So people I was staying with, who I still love, they're like my second family. Love them. One of their friends worked in the box office for the DTE, I think it's called, Energy Theatre. So basically in Detroit. So we saw, what was it? Motorhead opened the bill.
Awesome live band.
Dio came on after Motorhead. And then after Dio, Iron Maiden closed the night out. Free gig. All I had to do was turn
Awesome.
up.
I've only
Unbelievable.
been to a few gigs that are individually band gigs.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I went to see Status Quo. I saw Korn in, I think, either 2019, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big one for me at Wembley. I went with my friends. That was the first one I was allowed to go to without parental sort
Yeah.
of control on that one. But most of the bands I've seen live have been at Download
Uh-huh.
because I can't really afford usually to go to individual gigs and pay for the travel, somewhere to stay,
Yeah.
and all that. So to me, Download is the whole experience. It's a giant festival holiday where you all live in a tent for a week, basically,
Yeah.
doing nothing but drinking beer and being idiots and
Uh-huh.
listening to cool tunes. It's
Yeah.
it's my favourite sort of thing. It used to be my biggest holiday of the year. I haven't been now in several years since before COVID, but I've been to 8 in a row before that. It
That's
was,
impressive. Yeah,
yeah,
I've been to two download festivals. Don't ask me what years they were. Well, the thing I remember most is the Prodigy in the tent. They were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I I think I know that year. Strangely enough, uh, I can't think of the actual date year, but I know that when Prodigy. Do you know if it was when Prodigy last played at Download? Because they played Download twice.
It could, but I want to say it was like 2006. It was a while ago.
It was an early one, yeah, when they first played.
Yeah.
Um, but to me, I missed out, and I wish I'd have gone to see it because I love Prodigy, and
Mm,
obviously Keith's dead, so I'm not going to get to see
yeah.
them again in that sense. But unfortunately, I remember on the day I chose to watch whatever was on the other stage at the time. I think it was purely because it was a bad decision as well, because I went to see whatever was on the other stage because I
Hmm.
wanted to get to the front for the next band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was like I had to decide
Yeah.
between the two.
Yeah, no, I wrote about a Prodigy in my book we were talking about, Agency, that comes out next year. Because it's completely random, just two characters talking, and this girl's going through this guy's CD rack. She's like, "Ah, the Prodigy," and he's like, "Yeah, best crossover band ever," you
Yeah,
know?
they do some awesome stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
and I
wish I'd
mean,
have got to see them live.
I'm really annoyed. I only found out about Keith's pub in Pleshy after his passing. I was like, "What? I'd have driven there, no worries," in the hope that he turned up. That would have been amazing. Meet bloody Keith Flint. Because I remember when the Firestarter video premiered on Top of the Pops.
Yeah,
Again, that was another meter from the TV moment. Like the Freddie Mercury. Like, what is this? And my dad's like, he's a modern punk. Look at him. You know? Yeah.
amazing. I definitely think that music was a good subject to go on for the green room chat. I mean, I don't know about you, but I could go on about it for days.
Oh, yes.
What was your first experience for like losing a musical influence or somebody that you loved? For me, it was Kurt Cobain. I think in 2014 was it? Not 2014,
94.
94. Yeah, my brain's too tired to
Yeah.
think of dates. Yeah, I think Kurt Cobain was my first sort of biggest loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
it was, yeah, him.
I
And
loved
then
Michael
obviously
Jackson as a kid as well. I was sad when he died.
that was what happened to that man is tragic. It will forever be tragic. I mean, his
I mean, we've
talent
lost
was,
loads of greats. We've lost Ozzy recently. We've lost Lemmy. Do you know what I mean? It's,
yeah. I remember my brother bringing home Alice in Chains, And literally 48 hours later, Lane was dead. I'll never forget that.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, deeply troubled, but my God. Alice in Chains Unplugged, Down in a Hole, that song still gives me goosebumps because you can see what he was going through. He's not
Yeah,
hiding it, it's fully out on display and he just channels it into, well, there, I swear that was very one of the best unplugged moments ever, and rightly so.
definitely. I think there's so many of my favourites gone now that I won't be able to see. It's really disheartening. Or even bands that haven't disappeared yet, but they're getting on now and they're probably never going to tour in the UK again. Things like
Mhm.
Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. I've never seen them
Yeah,
live.
yeah,
I've seen some
yeah.
more of the obscure ones that I've actually met. Don't know if you heard of
Mm-hmm.
Headhunters. I've met them guys back in the day when I was younger. They were really cool. Angel Spit, which is a really weird, like goth industrial
Mm-hmm.
sort of band. Yeah, I've met a couple of people like that I've bumped into at like merch stands and stuff, and spoke to a few folks. So that's really cool. I enjoy that sort of thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
never really met the more famous people like one on one.
No, like I'm really lucky. My dad took me to see the Stones back on their Bigger Bang tour. So I've crossed the Rolling Stones off my life. I've seen the Stones live.
Oh wow.
You know, I mean, I don't know whether they go see him again because I mean they definitely lost something when they lost Charlie Watts. Because I mean Keith still bangs on about Charlie because of their, just because of their chemistry. So
Yeah.
to see the four of them then, now in hindsight was a real gift.
Where do
Real
you
gift.
stand with what they class now as, I don't know what they call it now. A couple of years ago, it was called new metal.
Mm-hmm.
Bands that are coming out at the moment, like, what was it called? Somebody was talking about the other day. Is it, uh, Sleep Token?
Yeah, that name rings a bell.
I've
Yeah.
only heard a couple of their tracks and I'm really not keen.
No, no, no.
And
No,
they're being seen as like the new up and coming level of like new metal and stuff, and I'm not a fan of most of it. I think my new metal ends with Limp Bizkit.
yeah. Yeah, well, let's face it, they're not gonna bring out Korn's debut album. Korn. That album's phenomenal. It
For me, it was
really.
the Issues. It was the Issues tour that I went to see
Mm-hmm.
at Wembley, and for me, it was Issues. I loved that album,
Yeah, that's a great
but I don't
album as
think they've
well.
ever done a bad album. Korn. They've done
No, they
so
no,
much different diversity in their music. I don't think
yeah,
they've ever done a bad album.
yeah. I remember reading Head's book, Save Me From Myself. I've still got it,
Yeah.
obviously, when he left and he found Christ. But I'm so when he went back, that was a relief, to be honest. Like, I mean, Monkey did a great job on his own. Don't get me wrong, but you cannot beat the interplay between Monkey and Head. It's
Yeah.
what made part of what made that band so unique. That and Fieldy obviously ripping off Flea.
Yeah.
Great bass player. Great bass player.
I don't know how I
No, I
feel
think.
about bands that were older that have now become very commercialized either. I was a
Mm,
massive Slipknot fan, and then I sort of teetered off Slipknot and started more with Stone Sour. And I think I actually
yeah,
prefer Stone Sour to Slipknot.
yeah. The first three Stone Sour records are brilliant. I was the same. Mind
I've
you,
not
you
listened to much
can.
new music though. I haven't actually listened to anything in the last 3 or 4 years, really. That I've since
No.
getting the nightclub's gone. Do you know what I mean? So I don't
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
research. Being a DJ and stuff, I used to always be constantly researching new music. So it was something that
Mhm.
I was always on top of. And now I seem to not do that. When I work on projects or I write in silence, so I don't have music on or anything.
That's interesting. I make playlists.
Yeah, my
I
partner does. He makes playlists and listens to stuff and audiobooks and things while he's writing. I can't do that. I
yeah.
end up writing the lyrics or what I'm listening to
Fair
by
enough.
accident.
Yeah. Going back to Slipknot, you cannot be playing the original Doom or Doom 2, can headphones on, blasting Iowa. That was freaking amazing.
Doom was a wicked game as well. I did play that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed viewing tonight's Green Room episode with myself, Jet Hipwell, and the dark artist here, Ed Burley. Ed, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
If you have not done so already, please like, share and subscribe to my channel for all future videos, interviews and projects. Now, don't forget to check back in a fortnight's time on Friday the 5th of December 2025 at 12 a.m. midnight. That's UK GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So please don't forget your worldly time differences before you plan to watch the show. Here you should see episode 4 of the series launched, and I will be interviewing an epic riff monster, lyricist, Jay Ball. So I hope to see everyone there and to celebrate their new single. Thank you all and good night.